Okay, now I'm going to be doing something that's going to look really familiar, but the end of it changes. First thing, I want you to cross out this compound quarterly and put yearly. I don't want you to do it. Compound quarterly is kind of a pain. Just put yearly. Okay, and here's what it says. A bank account contains $10,000. Interest is yearly at a rate of 5%. How many years will it take the account to reach $12,000? So I'm going to be finding the number of years. And the units in the problem, we have the years, obviously. That's my answer. And then the dollars. And we always know the times X and the dollars is Y per dollars per year. Okay, now there's no dollars per year. Instead, it's a 5% increase because it's going up by 5%. Now, we know that this doesn't go in a straight line. It's not a linear equation. It goes like a curve, okay? So I have my initial amount represented by the XY point with X being 0. And from there, I will times, not add. And then instead of MX, it's G to the X power. So, and we've done these before. So the G is eliminated because what we do is take 100 plus 5. That's 105%. Okay, so that's 1.05. And the initial amount's $10,000. So far, you're like, I've done this before. It was pretty easy. But now is where it's going to change. You have 10,000 times 1.05 to the X power equals Y. And the $12,000 will not be going in for X because that's money, so it would go in for the Y this time. So let's just scribble out the Y because usually we always put it in for the X and just plug it in on our calculator. So I need to solve for X here, and the X is a power, so I'd be figuring out how many factors of 1.05 I need. And so I'm going to circle the power and split it. And I know that my power is equal to log divided by log. And the 1.05 is our base, so that can go in the bottom right away. But you're like, oh, 12,000 on top. Not so fast. What about the 10,000? Now, 10,000 is multiplied by this power here. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So I would divide, not subtract. A lot of people fall into that trap and they'd see I just about did it. And then divide by 10,000. Okay, so 12,000 divided by 10,000 is 1.2. So the power is equal to 1.2. So that's what I put in the numerator, and then I use my calculator to find my X. So log 1.2, close it, divided by the log of 1.05, close that. And I got 3.73. So it's going to take between 3 and 4 years. So between 3 and 4. Okay, my next problem. Again, cross out this compound quarterly, and we're just going to say it's yearly. Means per year. Bank account contains $2,000. Interest is added to the account at a rate of 3% yearly. How many years will it take the bank account to reach $2,500? So I have the years. So years is obviously an important unit, and then dollars, obviously. So X is my years, and Y is my dollars. And then per dollars per year. And there's no dollars per year, but it's a percentage increase, so plus 3%. Again, since it's not $3, you're going to need a curve for this. So you got your initial amount of money, and from there you times by the percent, which is represented by G to the X power with Y. So G's out. 100 plus 3 would be 103%. Okay, and that would be 1.03, and we have an initial amount of 2,000. Okay, so my equation is going to be $2,000 times 103% to the X power equals Y. But again, the final value is 2,500. Well, that don't go in for X because that's your years. That goes in for Y. So 2,500. And we're solving for x, and the x is a power, so I want to circle the power and split the exponent from its base. So my x, I know I can use that log, because I'm not going to ever figure out how many 1.03s it takes to multiply to anything. So we want to go with the log over log. So 1.03 is in the denominator. And then I don't know what goes in the numerator because I'm not sure what the power equals because we have this multiplication of 2,000 to undo. So I would divide by 2,000. And 2,500 divided by 2,000 is 1.25. Okay. And then all I have to do is punch that into my calculator. So log 1.25, close it, divided by log 1.03, close it, and it's 7.5, okay? So the years are between 7 and 8. It's about 7.5, but 7 and 8. Okay, the next problem. A snowmobile costs $4,200. It's decreasing in value by 7% per each year. If I want to get $2,000 back for the snowmobile, how long should I wait before I sell it? So again, I'm finding the number of years. You're going to be doing that on all these problems. So I've got years and money. X is years, Y is money. So dollars per year. And the only thing I have is a decrease of 7%, so it goes down by 7%. So again, that's still a curve. Your G, you're going to do a little differently. So you have your initial amount, and then from there you'll times, because it's by percentage, G to the X power equals Y. So G, I take 100%, but I'm not going to add 7. I'm going to minus 7. That's 93%. So it's under 100, so the G factor is 0.93. And my initial amount is 4,200. Okay, and the equation is 4,200 times 0.93 to the X power equals Y. And again, the $2,000 goes in for Y. It's not going to go in for X because Y is the money. And I need to figure out what my exponent is. So I know that my exponent is always equal to my log over log. So 0.93 is on the bottom. That's a given. But I don't know what the power equals because I have this multiplication of 4,200, so I'm going to divide, not subtract. And I take 2,000 divided by 4,200, and I got 0.48. You're like, well, the top's smaller. That's okay, okay? So log 0.48, close it, divided by log 0.93, close it, and I get 10.11, okay? So it's between 10 and 11. Estimation. Okay, then my last problem. Camera's going to die at any time, okay? If it does, your problems are 1 and 2. And compound quarterly, put yearly. Okay, NFL football tickets currently cost $75 to sit in a certain section. The tickets rise in price by 2% each year. How many years will it take before the cost rises to 90? So I'm finding the years. So I have dollars in years. X is years, Y is dollars, so dollars per year. Okay, they give you a percent per year. Now it rises, so it'd be plus 2%. So it's not going to go in a line, it's going to go in a curve. And then times G to the X power. Okay, so I have 100%. I'm going to add 2%. So it's 102%. So that would be 1.02 on the G. And my initial cost is $75. So the equation is going to be $75 times 102%, 1.02, to the X power equals Y. Okay, so $90. Again, that wouldn't go in for X, I'd go in for the Y. So I'm solving for x, but the x is a power, is an exponent, so I circle the power. That whole thing's called the power. So you split the power, and you know that your exponent is equal to the log over log. And I know the 1.02 is on bottom, and I need to I don't know what the power equals until I divide this 75 out of here. So I take 90 divided by 75, and that's going to be 1.2. And then I'm going to divide and have my answer. So log 1.2, close it, divided by log. That's 9.2, so it's between 9 and 10 years. Okay, that's really all I have to say on that. I hope it's been informative. Hopefully it made sense, and you got two